Sue. How are you?
I'm good.
All right, I'm up and running. Okay, so I'm just going to... G'day, guys. Sue, welcome. So what I'm going to do now, I'm recording my end audio, so I'm going to put together something at the end of the call for us to listen back to, because this is going to be very important for our team as well. So I'm going to go into share screen mode now and share my desktop. And so I'm going to put together a little clip after this so we comprehend what we're talking about. But firstly, today's call, we have Diamond Ambassador Dr. Corey Gold, who is one of the leaders in the industry. He does triathlons. He's an Ironman now as well. I've had the pleasure of meeting him several times, and he's a guy that you want to hang out with and be around with. And he is in our upline in Team G'Day, and he's given us a few minutes of his time this morning. It's in the afternoon, his time in beautiful California there, just to go over a couple of things, give us some tips. And if you are on the call today, if you could just be in a quiet place, or if you're not, just have your audio on mute, and then hopefully we'll have time for a couple of questions. So, Dr. Corey Gold, welcome, and thank you for putting the time aside for a few minutes with us this morning down under in Australia and everywhere else where you're listening to.
Well, good morning, Australia. You're always a little bit ahead of us, and we love that about you. Jamel, what do you want me to cover? I'm happy to go whatever you like today. There's so much going on.
Okay, well, the first thing is there is a new comp plan, and I do have that screenshotted. Just the changes, what is the difference from the old one? And if you're looking at the screen now, I'm just scrolling down so you can see it's a 4-page comp plan there, that 4-page. So, yeah, what's the difference from the old one and the one that we've got right now?
Well, there's not a lot of difference, especially if you've been involved in Youngevity before January. So for people who were in before January, there's very little change. The only noticeable change probably would be that the fast start bonuses that are paid on CEO packs, instead of being $100 like they were in the past, are now $70. But everything else about the CEO coded bonus is the same. Everything about the BV payout on that is the same. They reduced the fast start bonus when they did the price increases, so that there wouldn't be a price increase with the CEO Mega Pack.
Yep.
And the Mega Pack would remain to have the same amount of products in it, so there wouldn't be a reduction in value to the consumer. So that's really the only major change on that. The car bonus program, I'm not sure if you have the latest version of it.
Yeah, I do.
It's been changed a little bit again. For anybody who was in the company prior to January, there's no change to the car bonus. The only change that happened to the car bonus would be for new people who have joined Youngevity January 1st, 2018 or later, in getting their car bonus at the 1-star level. They'd have to hold their rank at 1-star for 3 consecutive months, and in the third month they'd get their $300 car bonus. But beyond that, the bonus pays normally for 2-star and above, as it always has. And for everybody who's in the company prior to December 31st, it pays completely normally. So the only change would be for brand new distributors who came in 2018 to get their 1-star car bonus, and it takes 3 months of holding that to get your bonus. It does not take 3 months of holding to get a 2-star, 3-star, or above bonus.
Right.
For people who are 5 stars and above, there are some increased car bonuses and commissions, but that applies to a smaller subset. Mm-hmm. But to those people, that's a pretty cool, nice additional bonus.
Great. Okay. Kind of getting it now. Now, where I'm looking at the car bonus payout breakdown here, it's got the months here, January, February, March, April, May, June. So what you're saying, you've got to stick on that rank for 3 months, and then you're on your... So somebody with a 1-star car bonus, and this is what I'm aiming all the people that want to do Youngevity with Team G'Day, the first thing I would like to achieve with the people that want to earn a bit of money is to get them to that regular car bonus every month, because
Sure.
you're talking about $1,000 Australian dollars when you include
Sure.
that car bonus. Now we've got Linda and Isabel on the call today that are both 1 stars, and Sue will be shortly. And when we get to that point, I think that's going to be very good for the whole team. I'm looking at this new chart now. So basically, in essence, to achieve a car bonus, you need 5, and guys, I'm going to put a graph up later so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. You need, in your first 3 levels, you need 5,400 QV in volume. You need 3 frontline sales associates. And Dr. Corey, you also need now to hit that rank for 3 months. And
yeah, that's for people who joined after December 31st.
Gotcha.
All the people who have been in prior to that, as soon as they hit it the first time, they get the car bonus immediately. So the people on this webcast listening in who aren't 1 star but were in the company prior to December 31st, they just need to hit it once.
Gotcha.
And they immediately get the car bonus.
Perfect. Okay, understood. And the other thing is too, the 12 personally enrolled. I've heard a bit of. Okay, with the 12 personally enrolled, that's the only other thing you need for your car bonus. Do they need to be? Can you explain exactly what that means?
Well, not only do you have to be a 1 star, and not only does it have to be $5,400 in your own 3 levels. And by the way, when they talk about levels, it can be a bit confusing because you count as a level, your level 0, but your order counts. So if you bought 400 QV in products, you only need 5,000 between everybody else. In addition to that, if somebody's on your 4th level, but somebody in between you didn't buy at least 50 points, then it compresses up into your 3 levels. I know it gets a little bit confusing, but the bottom line in that is that it gives you, compression gives all the people greater opportunity to share active volume. So if somebody's inactive in between, they act like they're not there for commission purposes. So, and I know that always happens. People say, I've been in for 2 years, and Mary on my 2nd level, she isn't interested anymore. There's people on her levels. What happens to them? They compress up for the compensation plan. So you don't get a disincentive because somebody decides not to purchase, or somebody decides they don't want to be active anymore.
Gotcha.
Everybody else moves up the chair, so to speak. In addition to that, if somebody buys 50 points, 49 points or less, you count their points, but they also don't count as a level, and people still move up again. It's just a way to give you more access to the active people.
Thanks, Dr. Corey. Now, I understand everything you're saying, so guys, don't worry if it sounds a bit confusing. I can go over with this with you later. The last question I got with the comp plan, the 12 individually enrolled now for your car bonus. Can you explain exactly what that means and where they need to be in your organisation?
Right. That only applies to people who are going to get the bonus at the 1 star level. At the 2 star level or above, there are no 12 enrollment requirements because you have a higher volume requirement. So what Youngevity is saying is if you're going to get a $300 US car bonus, $300 USA dollar car bonus, and there's only $5,400 in volume, you're going to have to be responsible for a good portion of that yourself in order for the company to say, let's give that person an extra $300 US dollars. So the company says that person must be responsible for 12 enrollments of $50 or more in their organization. They don't have to be on your front line. They can be anywhere in your organization as long as you are the enroller. So if I brought in somebody in Sydney, Australia, and I say, well, I should put them with Jamel because he could help them. I'm the enroller. I place them under Jamel. That would count toward my 12.
So would that be an associate if we're talking $50?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Or do they need to
Correct.
be brand associates but qualify for associate? That's something.
Yes, regular associates is fine.
Okay.
Any level associate is fine. It's just you have to be responsible for 12 of them who buy at least 50 points or more.
And that has to be done that calendar month you're going for the car bonus, correct?
Every month as a 1-star that you want to get the $300 USA bonus, and I say USA because that's $300 US cash. I think it's $1,000 you said in Australia.
Yep.
You have to have 12 personal buying the 50 at that point. And like I said, it doesn't have to be on your first level. You just have to be the enroller.
Gotcha.
Once you get to level 2, once you get to be a 2-star or above, that requirement's no longer in play, and it's just based on rank.
Okay, understood that. So, so you need 12 people that calendar month that you've enrolled with an order of 50 QV or above, correct?
Right.
Gotcha.
And they don't have to be brand new people. Some people think, oh, I've got to get 12 new ones this month. No, it could be the exact same 12 who purchased the last month.
Yep.
And if you had 12 last month and one didn't buy and you got one new one, you're back at 12 again.
Gotcha. Well, I think that's the business side taken care of. I want to move on for a couple of minutes. Dr. Corey, could you share a bit about your latest triathlons and Ironman events that you've been doing? Because I'm not going to ask your age, but you're not 20 anymore, but you're doing all this.
When you get to my age, you're happy to tell it, you know. So when, you know, for some reason there's an age where you start bragging about it. So no, I'm going to be 56 in 2 weeks from now. And I did my first full 140-mile Ironman 2 months ago. And I have 2 scheduled for 2018. So I'm going to be doing even a harder race this year in Santa Rosa because it's got more mountain climbing.
Yep.
So it's not just a 112-mile bike ride. It's 112 miles more mountains. And there we are over there. And I have 2 planned for this year. And then my goal is I have a 5-year Ironman plan, but it's a pretty crazy thing. And I'm happy at age 56 that I can go out there and do it. In fact, literally, as soon as we finish this conversation, I'm going to be in the water probably within 5 minutes.
Wow. And what is your... Linda is on the call at the moment, so is Isabel, and we've got quite a few others. But with Linda, you probably met Linda at convention in Dallas, and Linda really admires the people that are... being part of the you're an example of the product. When people buying into Youngevity, buying into looking at this as a business, are looking at the people too, going, well, it must work, you know, because that guy's doing what he's doing.
It helps.
Yeah.
But, you know, like anything else, it takes a lot of work. I mean, healthy living is not just Youngevity; it's good sleep. You know, it's good water, it's good nutrition for food, it's all of the above. I mean, Youngevity is a lifestyle, and we're a big part of it. I wish I'd started this a lot younger doing it, because I can tell you that when I go to the gym with all the younger guys, they get a lot more, you know, muscles come out, and for me, it's kind of like it takes a lot more work because I'm older. But I enjoy it thoroughly. It gives me a lot of goal. I'm a goal-oriented person, whether it's becoming a diamond chairman, whether it's becoming an all-world athlete at Ironman, whatever it might be. I'm really driven to go do it, and I love doing whatever I set my mind to do. I don't mean in a bad way or an arrogant way or a competitive way. The great thing about becoming a diamond chairman is it takes a lot of successful people underneath you. And to me, the only way to get here is to have a lot of great people like Jamel and others. And there's Steve and Michelle. I talked to Steve on an airplane today. He called me up an airplane phone, so I felt very special about that today. He's in Texas, which is in the United States, speaking at a conference tomorrow on legal issues and network marketing. So now not only is he the president of Youngevity or CEO of Youngevity, but he's also now a really respected guy in our industry who goes to all these conferences and talks about how do you do it right and make sure that you're following international guidelines and different things. So that picture was taken in Las Vegas about a year ago, and I remember being there with them. And I always see Michelle Wallach tomorrow because she and I are doing a meet and greet with a series of women who are coming to Youngevity. And Michelle asked me to come and be part of that with them. So I get to call them very good friends of mine. And the nice thing about it is I've been involved in a number of network marketing companies where you don't know the ownership. Even people who do a lot of sales, it's kind of like they're mystical people and you don't know who they are. And I kind of like to know the people who are behind the things. You know, who's got do they have integrity? Do they care about what we do? Are the products important to them? What makes them tick? What makes them excited? And I can tell you after 10, 11 years knowing them, and I walk into their offices on a weekly basis, they really, really care about the distributors in Youngevity, and they care about the product quality. And Steve is constantly involved in that conversation about product quality and making sure things are going right. I've never met people who are more focused on people having good results. It's important to them. And as a tribute to Youngevity, and it makes sense to me because Dr. Wallach is pretty darn focused on products. Y'all know Dr. Wallach, a compromising guy.
No.
Dr. Wallach's not a guy who takes half measures or 90% measures. It's kind of like he's full in all the time. And Steve runs the company that way. So if you tell him just some small little thing is wrong or not right, he'll get on it. So I always have to be very careful not to mention too many things, because he'll start calling meetings over everything. But I like that about them. They take it very seriously, and we distributors are important to them, and they understand that we make a living with them. So they take that to be a responsibility that they build a good platform for us. So I appreciate that about them.
Okay, I've got just one or two more questions before you got to go and jump in that full. Us in Australia and other people starting Youngevity, they see you as a Diamond Ambassador, and I've got to say, it is a great feeling when you've got people in your team like yourself and Tom and Denise and Sandy and MZ and Ted and, you see, and Cheryl, all these successful people. Somebody working a 9-to-5 job that sees that as so far away from where they're at right now, and it's just looking at needing like $100 extra a week. How do those people get started? What's the best way for them to get started without seeing, oh, gee, that's too far away? How do people start like that with a 9-to-5 job and they want to, gradually get a residual income like you?
I was a dentist full time when I started doing network marketing, so I had a 9-to-5, in fact, 8-to-6 job every day working in my dental office. And what's interesting about it, there's my buddy Sanjeev who was my Sherpa at the Ironman. I appreciated him coming out there to help me out and to yell and scream at me when I was doing the Ironman.
I just tagged him.
That was pretty cool. And it is. You have really cool people out there with you is a pretty fun thing. But you asked about making income in network marketing. Network marketing is a little bit like Ironman. You don't have to be really great at anything, but you have to be good enough and do it for a long enough period of time. So I'm not fast on the bike, but I'm fast enough, and I can sit there on the bike for 7.5 hours. And I'm not fast in the water, but I can swim at hour 40, and I can run the marathon. So I'm not good at any one particular thing, but I'm good enough, and I do it long enough. So part of it is being proficient enough in network marketing, not being the best, but being proficient enough, and then being prepared to sit in the saddle of network marketing for a long period of time. Why I started doing more and more and more network marketing when I was a successful doctor is it fed parts of my happiness that being a dentist didn't do. I like seeing people get benefits from products, and I like turning other people on to their personal power and to help develop people's self-confidence. And I like public speaking. So it kind of fed me in a way that being a dentist didn't. And I don't mean money-wise. I was making a lot more money as a dentist when I started. And I just had to realize I was putting in hours, like I'm going to jump in the pool. I'm putting in hours right now towards something I want later that's important to me. And I'm willing to put in a lot of miles. That's my daughter there. I'm willing to put in a lot of miles. Like she was a tennis champion. I was willing to put in a lot of hours with her. So at age 18, she'd be a top junior national player. But we started at age 4. And it didn't look good at age 4. So to some degree, you have to understand that what you're doing right now may not show up exactly the way you used to at a paycheck, but you're building towards something that's really special to you down the road, where you can have a business that is significant and financially gives you great freedom, because there's that residual factor to it. and you're helping people because the products make a difference, and you're also getting these wonderful people in your life that don't come to you in any other way, but the payment is taking time. Now, when I started seeing that it was there, like, oh my gosh, this thing works, network marketing actually works, I was like a dog with a bone. And to me, it was like, I like this so much, I've got to tell everybody about it. I've got to be really vocal and open about it. I've got to tell all my friends that this is here. I've got to tell everybody about these products. And a lot of my friends did not join me, and my sister did not join me. And it wasn't like everybody said, hey, yeah, Corey's in it, let's go. That's not what happened. In fact, we've made a lot of money, many, many millions at Youngevity. And my best friend asked me on a regular basis, why didn't you force me to get into Youngevity with you? I'm like, because that's not how it works. I wanted to invite you to do something that I love and I thought you'd be great at. And you said no. And I said, okay. But the reality is I invited you. And I invited you several times over those years. So I just invited everybody. I got very excited and I was very committed. And I told people, I said, listen, I love these products. I love the mission of this company. I love the financial model. This is something I'm going to do, and I'm going to make a big splash in it. And I want you to be part of it. I think this could change your life. Are you interested in getting involved? And most people said no. And that was okay. Because I could ask all of you, do you guys want to do a 140-mile racing event and go through the ocean and go over mountains? And you're going to go, no, it doesn't make what I do bad. It just means that you're not interested in it today, at least. And I invited you because I think it's super cool and awesome and life-changing. And if you say no, it doesn't mean it's not to me. So when I had that mindset, I could tell anybody and everybody, and it didn't mean a whole beans of difference to me if they said yes or no. In fact, because I had a full-time job, I didn't live off the sales as individuals. There's Jamel and Cheryl and Tommy.
Hey, guys, by the way, this is all our upline you're seeing in the photo.
Yeah, those are my upline, Tommy and Cheryl over there. And that's why I'm carrying their bags. See, you can see I'm still carrying their bags.
There it is.
But what made a difference to me is that I had integrity that I asked everybody. I didn't filter it out. So I went to rich people and poor people. I went to healthy people and sick people. It didn't matter. I was on a mission to change my life and take anybody who wanted to go on it with me. And if you said no, cool. But I had to tell you about it. And the fact that I had a full-time job made it such that I didn't stress out if you said no, because I was going to eat anyway from being my full-time day job. So I could have great integrity and not beg people to get involved with things they didn't want to be involved in. I knew the products were significant. I knew the business had amazing potential. I knew I enjoyed doing it, and I could just see it being something huge if I stuck to it long enough. And with that intention in mind, I was unstoppable. Because there's so many freaking people out there that if you get jacked up about something and excited about something, I can guarantee you, I'm sitting in a skyrise on the 30th floor right now of my home, and I'm looking out at the streets of San Diego here. If I walk around the streets of San Diego with my Ironman jacket and I go, hey, I'm looking for one more person to do Ironman Santa Rosa within 4 months. Do you want to do Ironman? It is the coolest, badass thing in the world. If I go down the street, I'll get one yes. I could do that same thing with network marketing. Hey, I'm involved in this fantastic business. It's radically changed my life. I'm healthier than I've ever been before. I'm making more money than I ever made in my life before. I love what I'm doing. Are you ready to make a change today? I'd love to work with you. If I did that down the street, I'd get one more because I'm excited about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not being subtle about it. I'm out there wide open, and because of that, I attract people who are looking for energy and excitement and change in life.
Yep.
There's a lot of people who are like, hey, if you're jacked up about it, I'll give it a shot.
Wow, we've got a couple more minutes. Thanks for your time so much, Dr. Corey. Hey guys, anybody's got a question? We got team leaders, one stars here. Pauline, Mike. We got Linda. We got Isabel, Suze. If you want to unmute yourself and ask Dr. Corey a question, now would be the time. We've got like a few minutes left, so go ahead. You do have to unmute your speaker, though. I can see Linda talking, but maybe I need to unmute her. She can't hear me. All right, if you can unmute your speaker, just ask a question. I can see people talking. Pauline, can you hear me? I think I've actually muted everybody by mistake.
Can you hear me, Janelle?
Yes, we can, Linda. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dr. Corey. Really appreciate you coming on. I think we need that, I suppose, connectiveness to the US people, because we feel a little bit isolated out here in Australia, and I don't think we have that much of a family feeling as you guys do in the USA. So that's something we really have to get here in Australia. Do you sort of agree or work at how we could do that here?
You're absolutely 100% right, because people are joining a mission because they're not getting paid a paycheck. So people have to join your vision and join your mission and know that and know that you exist, because it's hard, especially when you're on your own, because network marketing is a lot on your own. So although I'm going to be in the pool on my own, I have a whole collection. I have a team that I'm part of, and I'll mark my workout today on the board tonight, and that people will comment on it on my board. I'm a grown adult. I mean, I don't need people to say, good swim, Corey, but I do need that. I mean, it's fun for me to be connected. So, yes, you guys need to be connected on Facebook. You guys need to be giving each other shout-outs for what you're doing. You need to be doing team calls. If you're close enough, you need to be having coffee. You need to be just as important to shout out when things go right. You need to have somebody to pick you up when things don't go right, because I got to tell you, things are going to go wrong more than they're going to go right. That's just the way it is. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's like not everyone's going to join, and not every day is going to be a good day. And if you don't have teammates to help you out, it's tough, because it's like, I don't need this, right? Because you're at the beginning of it. The hardest phase for me was when I was starting to try to do Ironman. It's kind of like, oh man, this is really hard. That's when you want to give up. It's like kind of like when you're a champion. I'm a diamond chairman. It's kind of like, now it's easy, right? But when it was hard, I really needed my team there to be calling me and checking in on me and telling me everything's going to be okay. And the fact that somebody said I'm goofy and network marketing's all yucky and Dr. Wall's crazy, whatever, it doesn't mean anything. That's just their perspective on the world, and it says more about them than it does about you. But yes, you need to make sure you're checking in with your team, and you need to really make sure that you know what they want. They may not want what you want. They may not be here for the same reason you're here. My coach in Ironman constantly says, what is it you want? What are you trying to achieve? What is your goal? Because you're not working toward my goal in network marketing. You're working towards your goal. And if I am not understanding what you want, how can I help you get it? So it's really important. One of the first things I tell everybody is, if you don't know what all your personals are looking to get out of network marketing, then you better start calling today, because you should know that, whether it's just good health or weight loss, whether it's $1,000 a month or $100 a month. When people know that you know why they're here, it makes them feel important. And not only that, let's say you told me you're trying to make $1,000 a month because, I'm just thinking of a crazy scenario. Your father needs medical care and your mother doesn't have a place to stay, or whatever it might be, and you have a bad day. I can say, listen, I understand, Linda, that you had a bad day, but your dad still has those challenges, and your mom still has her challenges, and I know those are important to you. I know that's why you're doing this. So let's just call it what it is. Today was just a bad day. We all have them. But the problems that you're having and you want to accomplish can be accomplished here, but not every day is going to be a great day. And I know why you're here, so let me help you out. When people know your story and people know why you're here, people don't quit friends. People quit organizations. People quit companies. They don't quit friends. And I think that's what we really need to make sure that we're doing, is that the people that are, and I think that's one of the things I see on Team G'Day, it says, this guy calls everybody mate. To us, mate means friend, right? And that feels nice.
Yeah, Jamal has been great. I mean, if it wasn't for Jamal keeping us all together every Thursday, we probably may have all drifted apart a bit. So thank you, Jamal, as well. Thank you.
Well,
and you may need to do it more often, and you may need to do one-on-one conversations, and you may need to do coaching, because sometimes, I mean, I will tell you that they get freaking cameras in the water there with me to film me. They're going, well, if you're going to go faster, we need to understand what you're doing. Instead of just spending a lot of energy, what are you spending energy doing? Gosh, Corey, your hands are freaking all over the place. You look at the Karate Kid swimming. Why don't we just your stroke, right? Can you just move your elbow this way? Can you move your arm this way? It's kind of like, oh, damn, that works a lot better. But I would never figure that out on my own. I needed somebody to say, hey, let me see what you're doing. Let me give you a few pointers. Now get back in the water and work on it. They can't fix it for me, but they can point me in the right direction. January 1st, here's my always advice I give people. They say, well, give me your sagely advice. Okay. When I first got into network marketing, Mark Yarnell was my first enroller. He wrote the best-selling book ever in network marketing. And in January, he called me up, and I say, Mark, what should I be doing this year? He says, well, Corey, first, what did you do in 2000 and whatever that worked? I did this, this, and this. Great. What did you do in 2000 and X that didn't work? Oh, my God, this, and this. He goes, okay, here, do more of what worked and stop doing what didn't work. And I go, oh, how brilliant is that? It's just so common sense. We know to some degree what works, and we avoid doing it because sometimes what works is harder than what doesn't work. So you have to have a coach or a teammate or an accountability partner in network marketing to say, yeah, I know you want to go and listen to more YouTube videos of Dr. Wallach or Peter Glidden or Ben Fuchs or Joanne Conaway or whoever. That's great, but really, Linda, you need to be talking to more people. So we got to make sure your time balance is better. Because from what I saw you did last week, you spend more time being busy than productive. And it's not that I want to call you out and be saying, Linda, you aren't good. What I want you to do is reach your goal of making XYZ dollars, and you can't do that the way you're doing it. So we need to change things. I didn't want to swim. I hated swimming. I'd swim one lap, I'd be out of breath. I love to bike and run. So my coach said, we got to change it up. So the number one thing you're doing is swimming all the freaking time because you have to swim. You can't until you do your 2.4 miles, so you can't get on the bike. So we got to make sure you're doing the things that you have to do. You're avoiding what you don't like doing. So get in the water because that's where your race is being lost. So to some degree, I got to find out where your water is. What aren't you doing? What do you need to be doing that you're avoiding? Not because you're avoiding it consciously, but none of us like to be rejected. So my big point is that you need an accountability partner, and you need a set of goals, and you need to have a set of things you're going to do on a day-to-day basis. I know for the next 22 weeks what I'm going to be doing every single day to train for Ironman Santa Rosa. Every day. I can tell you what I'll be doing this afternoon on the pool, what I'll be doing on the treadmill. Why? Because that's how I'll get it done. So you kind of have to have a little roadmap for what Linda's going to do or what Jamel's going to do. And when you have it, it doesn't mean that doing it's easier, but at least you know what you're supposed to be doing.
We got just over a minute left, Dr. Corey. So I want to just thank you for your time, and you really do lift the game when you set aside time to give us a few words of advice and tips and help and training. So we've covered all that this call. So thank you so much. We've just got under a minute left. So Dr. Corey, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you with all the teammates as well at convention in August at San Diego. So mark that off for your diaries, guys, because I have. And I look forward to seeing you at your next Ironman event too, on Facebook or somewhere. Thanks for your time. You really are.
Thank you, Dr. Corey.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with everything.
I'll need a little of that too.
Thank you. Always helps.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jamel.
Thank you, Dr. Corey.
By the way, Jamel, they don't really cut you off at 40 minutes, so you're good to go. You're good to keep going.
Well, it says less than 1 minute, so it has cut me off before really abruptly.
Oh,
so.
It has?
Yeah, it has, yeah. It does. I'm on Zoom.
That's because you're naughty, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Dr. Corey, have a wonderful day.
All right, take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.